Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on a really mysterious charge that could be secretly inflating your company's electricity bill month after month.
Okay, let's just dive right into this. You've probably seen it on your bill, right? A three-letter acronym, MDI, sitting right next to a surprisingly high number. It's confusing, it's kind of vague, and you know what? It's costing you money.
Now, this isn't a charge that typically affects your home electricity bill. Nope, this one is aimed squarely at businesses, factories, malls, hospitals, large-scale operations.
And let's be super clear here. Understanding this charge isn't just about curiosity, it's about your bottom line. Ignoring MDI can lead to some significant, totally unnecessary expenses that eat directly into your profits.
So what exactly is MDI? Let's break it down. It stands for Maximum Demand Indicator, and the concept behind it is actually way simpler than that fancy name suggests.
So MDI is not about the total amount of electricity you use over a whole month. Instead, it measures your single biggest surge of power, your peak usage. It's that one moment when your facility demands the absolute most from the grid, all at once.
I love this analogy. It's just perfect. Think of your total consumption, that's your kilowatt hours, as a marathon. It's the total energy you used over a long period. But your maximum demand? That's the sprint. It's the highest speed you hit at any single moment. And guess what? Your utility provider has to build an entire system that's ready for you to run that sprint at any time, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Which kind of brings up a great question. Why do utility companies even track this stuff and charge for it? Why do they care so much about your sprint and not just the marathon?
Well, it all comes down to one word: infrastructure. The power company has to build and maintain a massive grid. We're talking transformers, power lines, generators that can handle the absolute maximum demand of all its customers combined. Your MDI tells them exactly how much capacity they need to have on standby just for you, even if you only hit that peak once a month for 15 minutes.
So how does this all translate into charges on your bill? Let's look at the financial impact, because this is where it gets really real for your budget.
Before we can talk penalties, we need to understand a key term: your sanctioned load. This is basically the contract you have with the utility company. It's the maximum amount of power you've agreed you'll need at any one time. And those MDI penalties? They get triggered when your actual demand goes over that agreed-upon limit.
Let's use a super simple example. Imagine your business has a sanctioned load of 100 kVA. That's kilovolt amperes, just a measure of electrical power. This is the limit you and your provider agreed on.
But then, one busy Tuesday afternoon, you fire up several large machines all at the same time. For a brief 30-minute window, your power usage just spikes, and the meter records a peak demand of 120 kVA.
And there it is. This chart shows the financial consequence perfectly. You've exceeded your sanctioned load by 20 kVA. The utility company is now going to charge you a penalty, often at 1.5 times the normal rate. But, and this is key, only on that excess 20 kVA. You're basically paying extra because you put more strain on the grid than you said you would.
Now, something else you've got to know is that modern meters are way smarter. They've moved on from an old block method, which checked your usage in these rigid 30-minute chunks, like from 2 to 2:30. A spike could get missed. But new meters, they use a sliding window method. Think of it like a moving 30-minute window that's checking your usage every single minute. It's far more accurate at catching your true peak, which means it's harder than ever for a power spike to go unnoticed.
Okay, so you know what it is, you know why it's there. But here's the good news. This isn't some fixed cost you just have to accept. You actually have the power to control and reduce your MDI charges. Let me show you how.
This is your action plan. Seriously, start by just monitoring your bill to find the patterns. Simple changes like staggering the startup times for your heavy equipment can smooth out those power surges. You can also try to shift energy-intensive work to off-peak hours. And hey, if you're always going over, it might actually be cheaper in the long run to just renegotiate your sanctioned load instead of paying those penalties every month.
All right, let's bring it all home. We've decoded the mystery, we understand why it exists, and now we have a plan to control it. So what's the one big idea you should walk away with?
Ultimately, this is the shift in mindset you need to have. MDI is not just another line item you have to pay. It is a direct reflection of your operational efficiency. It's a variable that you can actively manage, turning what seems like a fixed cost into a real opportunity to save money and honestly run a smarter business.
See, by managing not just how much energy you use, but when you use it, you take back control of your bill and your bottom line. It's a small change in perspective that can make a huge difference. So I'll leave you with this. What's the one machine in your facility you could start an hour later tomorrow? Think about it.